What up, everyone? DJ Anubis here with you on the Metal Tyrant podcast with a new episode of Species Spotlight. Today, I'm doing the Grammostola pulchra, the commonly known name as Brazilian black tarantula. And before I get into showing my particular spider, I will play a short video of the Tarantula Collective, giving you the breakdown of the species and where it's from and feeding habits and etc. So here we are with the Tarantula Collective.
Grammostola pulchra, commonly known as the Brazilian black tarantula, is a New World terrestrial tea most famous for its deep black velvet appearance. The Brazilian black comes from Brazil and Uruguay in South America. I say that because the G. pulchra is found in southern Brazil and the G. kurogai is found in northern Uruguay. They are very similar in appearance and nearly indistinguishable to someone without a trained eye. The G. kurogai may have been imported into the hobby as a G. pulchra and sold as the Brazilian black, but there isn't a definitive answer at the moment, and this is a topic for another day that has already been covered by more informed individuals, which I will link in the description. This species is a ground-dwelling, opportunistic burrower, meaning it will make its burrow under logs, rock overhangs, or in the empty burrows of other animals. Females of this species have lived as long as 30 years in captivity, while the male lifespan tends to be much shorter. There is no sexual dimorphism in color or pattern, with the main noticeable difference being size. So you will need to examine molts to determine sex, or wait till your male develops tibial hooks. Females of this species can grow to 6 or 7 inches in size and are a thick, sturdy-looking tea.
So there you go. Yeah, so like he's saying there, I didn't even know about the other similar species that might have been integrated into, America or other countries, posing as the pulchra, because that's something I have to kind of research and check up on, because I do know that they were saying that the Brazilian black was kind of going extinct. Like people were trying to breed them more to get the species back up to date because they were kind of like dying out. So when I found mine in one of my local reptile stores, I was kind of surprised that they had one, so I bought it up immediately. Pretty inexpensive. It's a beginner spider, which I'll talk about in my little video I do of my own. But yeah, it's pretty interesting about this species that, like, you don't really hear it there, but they do have a different like temperament. So like they're very good. I'll state this in my own video, but some spiders behave differently than others. But the Brazilian black is often a good beginner spider. But after I show my video, I'll break it down a little more about some of the concerns you might have with this particular breed of spider. So just here we go with mine. All right. So I am getting ready to do some video of my Grammostola pulchra, which is the Brazilian black tarantula in my collection, and just some background with my particular spider. Initially, when I got it, I thought it was a female. Now, these are slow growing spiders, obviously, but they can get very large. And so mine, I thought was always a female till the last molt that he did turns out to be a male, which matured out. Now, I don't usually they only live like 2 or 3 years once they've done that, so I don't know how much longer I'll have with him. But he's very healthy, very beautiful. And initially, I'd called her Akasha, thinking that was a female, but now I've changed the name to Noob Sabot. And so we're going to be taking a look at him. And, you're going to watch a video, or you probably saw a video, probably played a video first, where tarantulas can have different temperaments, and they're not, even though the Brazilian black is often treated as a docile species that is easy to handle and very good for beginners, which it is. Mine, he isn't necessarily aggressive, but he's not shy about following you where the movement is. And so he's very curious, likes to come out. And of course, as a mature male, he wants to go and find a female, which I don't do any breeding. So I wish I could trade him for like a female of whatever species they might have. I just don't know many breeders in Maryland. So here we go. We're going to be Mr. Noob. Obviously, their enclosures are going to be changing at some point because we're in the move, and so I'm going to be spicing them up a little more. Hopefully, I'm only in the basement right now. As you can see, we've been redoing things, getting packed and everything. I'm hoping to find a room at the new place that's going to have a little bit of sunlight so I can keep, not like a lot of sunlight, but enough to put plants in and stuff. I do bioactive enclosures. I try to get the moss and all that stuff. But yeah, so here is Noob. He likes to sit out a lot, regardless of what's in his enclosure. We could try to see if he likes to follow movement. As you can see, he's not necessarily hungry, so he's either going to be annoyed or whatever. But he does get curious, but he's a gentle guy. Never really had it, even if he gives a threat posture of whatnot, if he's annoyed, he doesn't lash out. He's not like an OBT or some of my other species that get highly annoyed. So like even one of my new ones here, currently I forget the name of this one, I just got it, but this one here, like even for its size, it's much smaller than Noob, is not scared to be aggressive, like, man, defensive. I should say aggressive. Spiders generally aren't aggressive, but they're very defensive if you mess with them. But that one over there is a very good eater. Noob did eat maybe a couple weeks ago, but you can see it. He has a beautiful shine. He's in good shape. He's got a little bit of a patch there. I don't know. It could be just from kicking hairs, because this guy, he fucks me up every time I get hairs from him. He makes me itch for a month. So like I have to be careful when I deal with him. Even when I go to kind of redo his enclosure when we get to the new place, when I want to add some stuff, I'm going to have to be careful, because even the webbing that he may put down, which you can't see a whole lot because they don't do a lot of webbing, but the hairs that he kicks will stay on the webbing. So like he does do like sperm webs and stuff, but you can see a little bit there. But hairs from this spider just irritate the shit out of me. Like I don't know if I think it's just him, like his type of breed, but definitely kicks hairs and gets annoyed, and it's not pleasant. I have this shit goes on for like a month. It sucks. But yeah, that's this is Noob, my Brazilian black, great spider. Very, I don't know. I'm not gonna do too much crazy shit, but you can see he's not tiny, even for a male. And females get larger than this, so imagine that. And they're just beautiful, beautiful spiders. But you probably could still handle them. But again, it's never really encouraged for not only the safety of the spider, but the people yourself. Like even though he's not poisonous, a bite from his fangs, which are pretty large for his size, are fucking could be very painful. Now I want to see something. Okay, so you see right here, he's got this hook. This is how you define the males. And these are what they use to hold up the female's legs while they're inseminating. And that's done through the Pulchra's pity pouts over there. See, now he's getting very curious. Gotta try to bring him back over. Yeah, come on. I don't want you leaving the sanctity of your home. Come on. Yeah, so he's it's not necessarily like a threat pose per se. It's more like, hey, what are you doing here? Or because you're beating, are you a female? Because that's how they kind of talk to each other when they're breeding. So that's his way of saying, oh, is there a female nearby? Because I really need to get laid. But yeah, that's Noob Sabot, and thank you for watching.
Grammostola Pulchra.
Whoops. Yeah, so there you go. That's my Noob Sabot there, and so very cool spider. Like I said, though, for whatever reason, even if I just like the first time he got hairs on me, dude, I itched for like a month. It was on, and the problem is I have to wash my hands every time I deal with him, particularly because even the last time when I was careful. I put him in a catch cup and I was moving around because I was doing some stuff to his enclosure. And even with that, when I guess I touched like some of his old webbing and stuff like that, and so they have hairs that they lay on there. So even by doing that and then touching other parts of my body, I get itchy, and so I need like fucking, shit like this to put on my body because it really it doesn't go away. Like, and I told people before, you have to be careful, even with the beginner species like this, since they kick hairs. All New Worlds do this, except for the Venezuelan sun tiger, who actually is one of the New Worlds with venom. I love her, Mithra, but the point is that even with a species like this, which can be gentle and docile, like if they get hairs on you, you have to be careful about your eyes and your skin, and make sure if you get hairs on your hands and stuff that you wash them afterwards. I'm very bad at that. That's why I end up fucking going through these rashes and shit. I'm better now. You have cream for that, but that's the warning I can give you is that spiders kicking hairs, you don't want it in your eyes because they're like little barbs. And so it can be very destructive. So you wouldn't think because, well, they're not poisonous if they can't be dangerous. Well, they still can be in a sense. So for me, with Noob, clearly the hairs I have a major allergic reaction to them. Some of the other spiders that I have in the New World, I've never really come across having any problems with hairs or anything like that. Now, granted, most of them don't kick at me. Yeah, he's been the only one that does. I think my Mexican red leg kicks occasionally, but not too much. They're pretty gentle as well. In fact, between her and my curly hair, they're the most gentle species that I've dealt with, and they're both beginner species. Both very nice, no problems whatsoever. But he's just his hair just drives me insane, and when it gets on me, and so I have to be more adamant and careful about washing my hands afterwards because I don't always think about it right away, and so then I'm like, then all of a sudden I'm itching for a month. So yeah, so I'm gonna try to get some more of these out when I can. Obviously, in the process of moving, I'm not gonna be doing a whole lot of videos, but while I've got a little bit of downtime here, I'm gonna go ahead and do this. If you haven't saw yesterday, Tony the Dead and I did a new Ghouls of Midnight episode on a movie called Ice from 1988 horror film. So if you want to check that out, you can. We've been starting putting those up on our audio podcast at middletownradio.com. Friday evening, I will be joining Century Sci-Fi Century for his review of Pitch Black with some special guests on that. And then, from there, I'll just have to kind of work some stuff in. I might try to actually get another video today, maybe do my top 10 martial arts films. I haven't decided yet because I want to make sure I'm prepared and got all my shit together with that. But yeah. Thank you guys. If you have comments, do you have this species in your own collection? What do you think about them? Any advice for me? Because I have like 4 or 5 males from different species that I would love to be able to send to people that breed, but I want to kind of do like a trading thing where maybe they can send me either juvie, non-sexed, or a female of a species that they're willing to part with to give to me. Be nice. Like I would be able to trade them, so they can breed with these. Like I said, the Brazilian black is like a species that was kind of dying out, and they were almost going extinct. So people have been kind of breeding them and bringing them back, which is good. So like Dave's Little Beasties and even the Tarantula Collective, where they have these species, they're trying to breed them and bring them back from near extinction, and that'd be nice. Because I was, like I said, I was very surprised when I saw this one in the store. I was like, I gotta get it. Like they're just hard to get. So I was hoping it was a female, but nope. This one is a male, and I would love to send him on to a place where he can go and explore, or what is it, soil his royal oats, coming to America style. But yeah, give me some comments on what you think of the species, how you like your species if you have them, and thanks. Subscribe, like, and we'll see you next time on the Metal Tavern Radio podcast.